Good evening and welcome to this final discussion for the purposes of this course. I've enjoyed the discourse that we have had to this point. I look forward to the comments and the opportunity to respond to many of you on this particular subject. The subject that we are talking about is the issue of human scale. The issue of human scale consists of basically two viewpoints of political order. The first is that political order or stability of society, however you wish to refer to it, occurred spontaneously and is a part of the natural order of things. The other viewpoint is that political order is artificial and is established by man in order to give stability and avoid chaos and anarchy. Aristotle, in his philosophy of order, believed that the natural order of the family, the father, the wife, the children, servants, or slaves perhaps, was applied to larger segments of society, although on a small scale. This was the community or the group that was consisting of a number of families living in harmony together. Because the family unit was the basic unit of society, and it was also the economic base for society. Thomas Hobbes, the 17th century philosopher, proposed that without the establishment of an artificially ordered governmental system, society would be violent and short-lived. And for this reason, society placed their views of individual liberties in some type of leader, some type of central government, whether it was a king or a government by representation eventually. Although it seems perhaps strange that people might think of political order in simplistic terms, Forrest McDonald says that most colonial Americans knew only the government they had had in England, and only when the Revolution began did they consider the origins of government as a whole and began to search for representative government. And in doing so, they reached back to the beginning of government, the levels of natural government that were proposed by Aristotle in Greek society and eventually Roman society. The human scale, for the purposes of this discussion, refers to the size of a population. As Dr. Livingston points out in his video, a conception of scale in Aristotle's era would be of a much smaller population center than we can conceive of today. Indeed, small scale is necessary for Aristotle's natural state of government to exist successfully. Hobbes, he points out, refers to that scale in the much larger sense, and that government is the solution. Hobbes believed to prevent anarchy as a result of the natural state. This government is an artificial office of the government referred to as the modern state. In this modern state, individuals can go about their individual lives, carrying on their individual desires, individual liberties, and as long as they do it in a civil way. In other words, there are rules, and as long as they follow those rules, all is controlled and all is good. According to Hobbes, order is maintained even as the government expands by the central authority. Now, of course, Hobbes was considering that central authority as being a monarchy or some individual who existed in that office. But by the 17th century, we begin to see the beginning of what we call republicanism, which the people were simply searching for a new type of government, still with a central governing body, but a republic, based on a republic, and a republic that exists on a much larger scale. Actually, it seems to be a state that, according to Hobbes, had all the elements of a state, but if you look at it very carefully, it also had elements of Aristotle's government as well. Those are the governments of Western culture that we know today. Thank you.